Good morning, friends. So today the plan was to be out in the garden being very productive. We've got a few things over on the raised bed there. Oh, the dog is peeing. Thank you, Teddy. The plan was to get a few things potted up, but it has been a very wet, cold and miserable day. One good thing though about the rain is I do not have to come out and give everything a good water today because it has been thoroughly drenched. Oh, I can see I've got a orange over there to be picked up. Well, maybe if it stops raining I'll go and grab that one before the dogs get it. So yes, I've got a little bit of tidying up on the bed that I needed doing, and I wanted to plant some things, but I'm not going to be doing that today. So let's head into the kitchen for some cosy soup making, I think. So let's head to the kitchen. Okay, so we are in the kitchen. It has been rained off in the garden today, so we are coming in to do some soup for lunch. And Tyler is in the kitchen for me today, so he's going to help me out with this. There is no set recipe for this. I am making it up as I go along because we've got some ingredients in the fridge that need using up. So we've got onion, some celery, a leek, some mushrooms, and some bacon. And then I thought I'd do like a creamy, cheesy bacon soup. So we've got a little bit of cream to use up. And I'm currently very full up because we ended up having birthday cake for breakfast, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was Tyler's birthday yesterday, so we had our delicious food that we prepped in the last video, which if you haven't seen it, I will link it for you. But I prepped all of Tyler's dinner the day before his birthday, so it was all ready so that we could relax, chill, and have good family time together instead of being stuck in the kitchen. And, well, Tyler, did it turn out good?
Yeah, very good.
And what did you have?
Lasagna.
Yes. And even if I do say so myself, it was a 10 out of 10 lasagna.
Yeah.
And I think we've got some leftovers, so that will be for lunch today.
Yeah.
Well, there's not enough for everybody. There'll be enough for Dad and for you. So I'm going to have some of this soup. So let's get started. I've got some butter in a large saucepan, which I'm going to turn on in a minute and add some olive oil. So in the meantime, me and Ty are going to get this veg prep. So I'm just going to finely dice up one onion. Ty, you may as well grab the other chopping board and you can chop with me to speed it up. So, do you want to start with doing the leek for me, please?
Yeah, okay.
It's great I love that my children are all keen to learn in the kitchen. They always have done ever since they was little. And now it's great where they've gotten older and they can actually come in, help me completely, or even make us meals from scratch by themselves. That is fantastic. So they're all good in the kitchen. They all love cooking. They've all got their own little specialities they like to do. Tyler, he absolutely loves doing baking, don't you?
Yeah.
He is becoming the king of baking. He's particularly good at carrot cakes. He made me one the other day for the first time and it was fantastic. Very good. And he's also cookies, aren't you, Tyler?
Yeah.
Whenever anyone wants cookies done, Tyler is your man. Right, so Tyler, if you can slice up the leek for me, please. I've done the carrot. I've done the onion. So now I've done the onion, I will do the celery. Just tip off the end. Most of this veg needs using up, so this is a good way for getting the veg done. I'm just going to give that a quick rinse because there's some mud inside.
Okay.
So yeah, if you just finely slice it,
Okay.
use as much of the green leaves as well, not those ones because they've got a bit bad, but take off this first layer I would. So I'm just going to rinse these off quickly. Well, talking, Tyler, of you being good at baking cookies, maybe today is the perfect day for baking cookies.
Oh yeah, it's very cozy. Well
It's wet, it's cold. Well, I say I'm cold, but Tyler is still in shorts and a vest because He's one of those people that never feels the cold, do you?
Not really.
It could be freezing cold out and he's still in shorts and t-shirt, and I just don't understand it. I'm wrapped up in like 3 layers usually, and Tyler's in shorts, t-shirt and a pair of flip-flops. So I'm just roughly chopping quite finely the celery. I'm going to get in most of the leaves as well if they're still good. Most of them do look good still, so that's good. Or what flavour cookies do you think? I don't. Oh, we've got no. Well, we've got these chocolate buttons actually.
Would you have some dulce de leche?
Dulce de leche.
Well.
Oh.
Maybe.
Maybe. I do like those chocolate cookies that you make.
Yeah.
And we have got the giant chocolate buttons to go in them.
Yeah, we do.
Just see what your brother and sister fancy.
Yeah.
Right, so I've ended up chopping all of that celery because the leaves were all really good. So I'm just going to get a bowl to pop these in. Okay, so I've just got a whole pack of bacon. No, Max, I've got dogs at my feet as usual. It's always Max, the husky. He is always after food. Aren't you, boy? Is you a good boy? Yeah. You can't have this though, it's raw. So I'm just going to finely dice the bacon. And then it's just the mushrooms to do. So Tyler, after you've done that, you can do the mushrooms. Just brush off any soil and then just finely slice, please.
Okay.
I'm going to start getting, I wash my hands, then get the pan on. Heat the butter and oil up. Let's do that a sec.
So just brush it off, not wash?
Yeah, just, they're pretty clean anyway, so just
Yeah.
if there's none on that one, but if there's a bit of mud,
Okay.
see there's just a little bit, just brush it off.
Okay.
Do it over here, otherwise it's going to go
Yeah.
on the board. Then just finely slice, please.
Okay.
Okay, so the oil and butter has melted, so I'm going to add in this bacon. Give this a quick stir around, and I'll get my hands washed again. Okay, so this is smelling good. The bacon has been frying off for a few minutes. Love the smell of bacon. That is one of the best smells, I think, in the kitchen. So that's been frying for a few minutes. I'm going to add in the chopped veggies. I haven't got the leeks in here because they didn't fit. I need to get a bigger bowl. So I'll stir these through, and I'll grab the leeks from Tyler, and we'll stir them in too. Adding in the leeks now. Tyler did a good job on slicing those for me. I won't add in the mushrooms just yet. I want to fry these off a little bit and then get some seasoning. So, I'm not sure yet on the seasoning. Obviously I'll have some salt and pepper, bit of garlic I think. I'm not sure what else, I will see as I go. So let's grab some seasoning. Okay, so I've added in, to start with, I haven't put salt in yet, but I have put in 2 large pinches of black pepper, 2 large pinches of white pepper, and then I've put 3 heaped teaspoons of garlic powder and 3 heaped teaspoons of dried thyme. So I'm going to start with this and see how it smells, and whether I think it needs anything else added. Tyler, can you grab me some salt, please?
Oh, yeah.
Tyler's just grabbing the salt, and I've just got to put the kettle on to boil for the water. If you have the salt in, please. Thank you. Right. Okay, so that is on high heat, but I am going to turn it down to medium-low. Actually, I'm going to turn it to low until the kettle boils because I don't want it to stick to the bottom because it needs a bit of moisture in there. Okay, so the kettle is boiling, so Tyler just grabbed the mushrooms. I'm going to add those before we put the water in. So put those in. Love mushrooms.
Yeah.
They add so much flavour to your food. I said this in our last video when I was doing the lasagna, that I never used to like mushrooms, hated them as a kid.
I was thinking about when you used to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like when I was a young adult, I hated mushrooms, but now my taste buds have matured. And I think they just add so much flavour. Okay, so I'm adding the boiled water from the kettle, and there's 1.5 litres in there. So I'm just going to turn the heat back up because I want that to come to a simmer. So I'm just turning it up. Then when it comes to a simmer, I will turn the heat back down to low and just let that simmer for a while to get all those flavours infused. Okay, so as usual, while food is cooking, it's time to have a clear down.
Yeah.
So let's go. Okay, so that has come up to a boil, so I'm just going to stir it and turn it down to a low heat because I want that on a simmer. And we'll just leave that. And meantime, we're going to crack on with getting these cookies done, I think.
Yeah.
So, let's prepare the cookies. Okay, so we're going to start on the cookies. Tyler, what cookies are we making today?
So this is the recipe for the awesome party cookies minus the smarties.
Yeah, we haven't got any Smarties today, so we're just using the giant chocolate buttons, aren't we?
Yeah.
And they're still going to taste good.
Yeah.
So what have we got in here?
So at the minute this is just 300 grams of caster sugar and 200 grams of butter.
So 300 grams of caster sugar and 200 grams of softened butter.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to get this whisked up?
Yeah.
So we're just going to cream the sugar and butter together. Butter and sugar has been creamed together nicely. Now it's time to weigh out our self-raising flour, which is how many grams?
I think it was 280.
280, yeah, 280 grams. So Tyler, if you can get that weighed, please.
Okay. Alright, so we've added 280 grams of self-raising flour and a heaped tablespoon of corn flour.
And there's a pinch of salt in there as well.
Oh yeah, and a pinch of salt.
Okay, so let's get this whisked together.
Yeah.
We've just taken it off because we forgot to put in the
80 grams cocoa powder.
Yeah, so we've added that in now, and we're going to try again and whisk it up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, so we just lined our tray ready. We'll have to do this in 2 batches because we've only got the 1 baking sheet. So we'll get the first batch on there in a minute. Okay, so we've given that a quick mix. Now we're just going to add in 1 egg and a capful of vanilla. Okay, so that's all been mixed through now, the cocoa powder and the flour. So now we're going to add in the giant chocolate buttons. So let's get those in. So, like we said, we usually have like Smarties, don't we, to add into these, because these are, we call them our party cookies, don't we? But we did have a lot of sugar yesterday on Tyler's birthday, and we don't have any Smarties, so we're just making do with the giant chocolate buttons, and they're still going to be delicious. So this is the final mix. The last one wasn't. This is the final mix, and then we'll start putting them on the tray and get them in the oven. Yeah. The oven has been preheated. Mm-hmm. It's 180C, and we'll pop these onto the top shelf. And also, while they're in the oven cooking, we're going to put the leftover lasagna in to heat up too, because that's been out of the fridge for about half an hour to warm up before it goes, so I don't want the glass tray to smash in the oven. So let's get these mixed. Okay, so they just literally take a few seconds in the food mixer to combine together. You could do that part by hand, but the mixer was already out, so we just put them in, gave them a quick mix, and now we're going to shape them and put them onto our lined tray. Okay, so the first batch is all prepped, and we're going to get these on the top shelf and bake these for, we're sure it's 25 minutes, but I'm going to have to double check because I've forgotten. So top oven, 180C. So let's get these in. Okay, so we're popping these in, and Tyler's just checked. It's not 25 minutes, that's our other cookies. These ones are 11 minutes exactly, so we'll have to set the timer on these ones. So let's get these in. Also, we've got our delicious lasagna left over from yesterday's dinner meal. So I'm going to pop this into the oven as well and warm it up a little bit for Tyler and his dad to have for dinner. Putting on our last and final batch. There's only 3 on this tray, and they're going to bake for exactly 11 minutes. So let's get these ones into the oven, and then they can cool. We leave them to cool on the tray when it comes out of the oven for about 15 minutes. Okay, so we've just taken these out. They've had 11 minutes in the oven. These are going to cool on the tray that they've come out in the oven for 15 minutes before I then transfer them to the wire rack to cool down. Yes, so because they haven't got the Smarties in, they have spread a little bit, but that's okay. We don't care because they are still going to taste lush, and that is all that counts. Maybe it is a whole new recipe for the blog, but either way, this is a really good recipe, and if you did have all of the ingredients, they would have been a lot thicker. But never mind, the chocolate is melted into them. Oh yes, the edges are going crispy. A perfect cookie. It is still raining a little bit outside. Let's go and have a look. Yes, it is still raining. And no, I haven't been out and collected the orange over there because I don't want to come out and get all wet today. I'm going to head back in, wait for those cookies to cool down, and in the meantime we're going to sit down and have some lunch. Okay, so back to our soup. That is simmering nicely and is smelling good. So we're going to add in a cup of cream. We're using, this is just like a thick double cream, and this is just the last of it left over from yesterday. So we're going to get all of this in and give this a stir through, and then we'll do the taste test and see if it needs any more seasoning added to it. I can hear my pug in the background crying because he wants some birthday cake. They go crazy. Does anyone else's dogs go crazy for baked goods? Ours go nuts. So sometimes I do treat them and I do bake doggy cupcakes for them, carrot ones with cream cheese, and they love them. That might be quite a fun video actually. We'll do some baking for the dog, shall we? Because I do like to treat my dogs. Right, so that is all the cream scooped out. So let's just give this a stir through, and then we'll do a taste test and see if anything else needs to be added. Time for a quick taste test. See if it needs anything else added. Oh, that is good. That's really good, Tyler.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you want to grab a spoon and have a test?
Yeah.
Taste test. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah, that tastes really, really nice. That's one of my favourite like soup flavours I've ever had.
Do you think it needs anything else added? Any more salt or any more herbs? Maybe. Do you think we should have added some fresh garlic into it because we haven't got any left? But I don't know actually because I can really taste the garlic powder in it.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Maybe glass of white wine maybe, but we haven't got any. But do you know what? No, I'm really.
Yeah,
that's really
good.
good.
That smells good.
So that is done. I'm going to turn that off. Put a saucepan lid on. Ty, would you just mind grabbing me the big lid for the saucepan, please? And then we just pop this to the back of the oven until we're ready to eat. Once the lasagna's done, I shall dish some of this up for me and whoever wants any.
Yeah.
Knowing Tyler though, he's going to want double portions, lasagna and soup. Can't you? Lasagna is out of the oven. That is preheated and nice and warm. Smells fantastic. I want some, but I'm going to let the boys have some. So I shall get that sliced up for the boys. And then I've got some of this delicious spur of the moment, made up as we go, bacon and cream soup. Is that what we're going to call it?
Bacon leek mushroom.
Bacon leek, mushroom, celery, onion,
Yeah.
mushroom, cream soup.
Yeah.
So this is smelling really good. Of course, it's got to have the family taste test before it gets its final approval. But if this does get the family taste approval, I will link the recipe down below for you. Also, I'll link the recipe for the lasagna because that is an awesome recipe and it's one of our favourite meals. So I will list that below as well, and also the cookies. Okay, before I sit down for lunch, I'm just going to scoop these up. So they've cooled down for the 15 minutes now, and I'm going to transfer them to the cooling rack. And they will crisp up lovely on there. So let's get these all up. Oops, losing the cookie. There we go. Cookies are going to be cooling. Let's get on and dish dinner up. Okay, so lunch is served. We've got our delicious homemade soup that we've made up in the spur of the moment. I think we've created a nice new recipe. And Tyler has sat down enjoying his leftover lasagna from his birthday dinner last night.
Yeah.
Did you like the dinner?
Yeah, it was like really, really, really good.
That's good. Like I said, all these recipes will be linked down below in the description box if you fancy making any of them. But for now, I'm going to sit here, taste test this recipe of this soup, and I'll get the family's taste test verdict on it as well. And if it does taste good, then I shall list it down below in the description box for you. So, as always, thank you very much for joining us. It's always great fun hanging out with you guys in the kitchen and garden. Thanks very much for joining us, and if you feel like following us along for more kitchen and garden adventures, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and you'll know every time we upload another video. And take care. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time in the kitchen or garden. Bye.
Bye.